team is going to be, it's going to be a tough go. They could very well come back to Cleveland 1-4 with Denver across the sidelines.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. We'll go to waiting for next year. We always appreciate the conversation and love that microphone. I might have to borrow that for you at some point.
Thanks, guys.
Nice job. I think it's tough when you got to follow up PSAC. I think that's a tough spot
Craig's
to be.
the man, though.
Hey, Craig did a great job.
PSAC.
Good job.
Can you believe that is actually the name of a conference?
I don't think he got where we were going, though.
Yeah,
No,
You broke it down, we slowed it down, and it's still.
Tubby couldn't get
I
it.
know it's
I even
early,
said
but it didn't
something.
He
register.
didn't understand. All right, Eric,
Thanks,
the
Craig.
referee, let's take care of business on this show with no rules. What do we got going on here, and where do we need to go, and what are we getting to?
You're going to give me a minute, and I'm going to queue up some of our Steelers and Ravens reporters.
All right, so we'll talk Steelers and Ravens here in just a second. Matt Lodi will join us from Steelers Gab. Garrett Downey has been a regular from Baltimore Ravens. I am actually kind of shocked the Ravens are 0-3 right now. Seems weird, doesn't it?
First time in the history of the team that they've got off to an 0-3
No
start.
T-sizzle. No T-sizzle.
They got no nothing. That franchise. I watched some of the game yesterday, and it was they did not look like the Ravens that I remember.
They let all
winning
the
division
defensive
titles.
backs go. You know, your core guys, you let go. And, I mean, receivers are torching them right now. I mean, A.J. Green looked like a Hall of Famer yesterday.
Anybody concerned, and let's bring Kenny back in on this one too, and Matt Lodi's going to join us in a second too, this injury to Ben Roethlisberger and how that affects the Steelers for the rest of the season.
I don't think it's going to affect him at all. I mean, you got Mike Vick. I think he loves the fact that him and Tomlin are from Virginia. They got a little tight niche, and the guys are going to let to play with him. As long as he can get the ball to Antonio Brown and get it in the Bills' hands, they'll be fine.
Kenny?
I disagree with you, Pierre. That team is all about Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger helps make Antonio Brown. The offensive line isn't as good as everybody thinks it is. Roethlisberger shakes guys off left and right. Yesterday, the offensive line broke down. He got hit. He's out 6-7 weeks. I was counting it, guys. If it's 6 weeks, he could be back for, let's see, on this Sunday, November 15th. Oh, that would be the Steelers and the Browns is when Roethlisberger could be back if the early prognosis is what they're saying, with his knee is accurate.
All right, let's get more on the Steelers, and we turn to our man from Steelers Gab. He is Matt Lodi. We got some. Let's cheer for you or something. We got to cheer. Let's cheer.
Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning. All right, we got our cheers out for you. For you, not for the Steelers. How concerned are you about this injury to Ben Roethlisberger, and what do you have for us on that?
Well, again, like Kenny alluded to a moment ago, you're looking at probably, in my opinion, 6 weeks. The MRI, the most watched over MRI in the history of MRIs, came back with no ligament damage, and that's huge because obviously he was able to avoid tearing that ACL, the MCL, anything like that. It looks like an MCL sprain right now. And for Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers team, it's going to be a time of trying to come together defensively, trying to come together under Michael Vick. And, Michael Vick really hasn't played a lot, guys, because, if you think about it, he's been running the scout team mostly in practice, not taking a lot of snaps with the first team, out there. And secondly, when you're Ben Roethlisberger and you're the franchise quarterback, you get everything in practice. You get all the reps. You get all the game plan leading up to the games during the week. And Michael Vick really hasn't had anything like that. He joined the team late. Played about a quarter versus Buffalo in the preseason, played about a quarter and a half versus Carolina in the final preseason game. So to me, this is going to be a true test. And, now it's even worse because the Steelers and Michael Vick only have 4 days before they have to get ready for the Baltimore Ravens, a team that, they're 0-3 and they're going to be fighting for their lives on Thursday night this week. And I think if you're the Steelers, you have an opportunity to basically knock them out for the rest of the season. But on the other hand, if you're the Ravens, you're looking at this like what an opportunity to try to get back, at least to get one win and somehow, someway get back in the race in the AFC North.
Yeah, Lodi, you're right. If you're the Ravens, you want to knock the Steelers out because you do not want them coming back, and you know they will. If they had a week to prepare, even with Ben out, I still would not count the Steelers out. And I'll believe Ben Roethlisberger's really hurt for 5 or 6 weeks when he's gone for 5 or 6 weeks. That guy has just been an amazing guy when it comes to injuries, and the staying power that he's had in this league for some of the injuries we've seen him take is just amazing. He's back sooner half the time when he gets hurt than I expect him to be. So when it comes to the Steelers, if the Ravens don't throw that knockout haymaker on Thursday night and the Steelers win that game with Mike Vick, look out, because that could be the role that could start them back, coming back up the division ladder. And I wouldn't want to be that team that doesn't have the chance to get him done while the dog's a little wounded?
I say 3 to 4 weeks. I think he'll be back. You got that stem cell little blood that you pull from your own blood, put it back into your knee and things like that, make guys heal faster. So I know that's something that he'll do, and they'll have all the best doctors on him and everything like that. So about 3 to 4 weeks, he'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Jason La Canfora reported last night 4 weeks. It seems to be 4 weeks is the prognosis as of right now for a knee sprain like he's got, the MCL sprain like he's got. But, one thing for the Steelers that they've got to be aware of, or not really aware of, but one thing they've got to be happy about in these last 2 weeks after that Patriots loss in the opener is how their defense has played. Their defense has played pretty well. They did it yesterday without Ryan Shazier, the linebacker from Ohio State, who played exceptionally well against the 49ers. I know that it was the Rams, and the Rams are not exactly a juggernaut, but this is the same Rams team that beat the Seattle Seahawks on opening day at home, and they held them to 6 points yesterday amid everything with Michael Vick, or amid everything with Ben Roethlisberger, I guess, if you will. So the defense is going to have to step up while Ben is away. The running game with Le'Veon Bell and D'Angelo Williams, I think you're going to see a lot of those two guys with Ben Roethlisberger out. And like I said, Michael Vick is going to have to find a little bit of a fountain of youth and make some plays. I like Michael Vick from the standpoint of being a veteran backup quarterback. I just don't know how much I like him as far as being my starter for a month or two while this thing they try to stay the course, if you will, when Ben comes back.
Well, you guys got to live with it.
I think it's a different kind of Mike Vick too, Matt, don't you? I mean, it's not the same take all the chances that he used to and throw the ball in the tight spots and just run at will. He's an older version of a mobile quarterback, and when you're on a team as good as the Steelers, I'm not really worried about, and the fact that you just pointed out the running back situation, Le'Veon Bell's back, they're going to pound the rock, and Mike Vick's going to be asked to make a limited amount of plays. If he can do that, I think they're going to be fine.
Well, I think they're going to have to tailor the game plan. I think Todd Haley and that offense is going to have to tailor that game plan, Mike, to instead of throwing the ball with like Ben Roethlisberger 40 times a game, I think they're going to have to cut that almost in half because, again, Michael Vick just doesn't know the playbook like Ben Roethlisberger does. And, I know you got Antonio Brown. I know you're going to get back get back Martavius Bryant after this game on Thursday. The suspension for him will be over. But you got Heath Miller as a safety outlet. Le'Veon Bell catches the ball pretty well out of the backfield. As I said, they'll tailor down that game plan. You're going to see a lot more running the football with DA and with Le'Veon Bell. And I think that they're going to be okay. If they could go 2-2 or even 3-1 without Ben Roethlisberger, this team will be just fine. They're 2-1 right now. Again, big game on Thursday night. They've also got in this stretch Kansas City, Arizona, and Cincinnati, 3 teams that are pretty good, if you will. They're going to have to find a way, though, because, again, they've been in this situation before where they've lost Ben for a little bit. This happened in 2005, and they went to the Super Bowl. It happened when he was suspended in 2010, and they went to the Super Bowl. So this isn't exactly foreign to the Steelers to not have Ben Roethlisberger. The big thing, of course, with Ben as well is how fast can he heal, and how much will he be rusty when he comes back, even if it's for that Browns game, like Kenny Rhoda pointed out in early November, or is he going to have a little bit of time because he's away of a little shaking the rust off when he comes back?
All right, hey, we appreciate it. Thank you, Matt. We'll talk to you soon. SteelersGab.com, right?
Yeah, guys, and don't forget, the new book is in stores, Game of My Life, Pittsburgh Steelers. You can order it on Amazon or on BarnesandNoble.com. Just came out this week. Very proud of that and excited to promote that as well.
You got it. All right, thank you very much. All right, Eric.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, hang on. Eric, thank you, Eric. I'm calling a major audible on the show. I don't think we've ever done this before. I'm sure that Spastic Dave is going to be really upset with me, but I'll get over that, and so will he. Big news from the Cavs right now. I don't know if anyone's seen this. Brian Windhorst is reporting that Tristan Thompson, and I'm going to give you exactly what he said. Brian Windhorst on Twitter right now. Cavs and Tristan Thompson did not come to a contract agreement over the weekend. He is not expected to be at media day today. The sources said neither the Cavs nor Thompsons are framing the situation as a holdout because he has until Thursday, which is October 1st, to sign a $6.9 million qualifying offer. I want to go back to the newsroom for a second. Tim Reardon is our guy on the web and takes care of things on NewsChannel5. We're going to lose him in a couple weeks. He's going to L.A. Tim, we're excited for you. I think you're great at what you do. You're outstanding. But I want you to go on Twitter right now. I just tweeted because I want folks to call in on Tristan Thompson. Look, the Browns lost yesterday. We all get it. But I think the Tristan Thompson story today is going to be a huge story. If you could just go to social media for a little bit, we'll stick around for the next 13 minutes. I want to flip this thing into Tristan Thompson a little. So can you either retweet the question I just put out there. Are you seeing anything on social media with Tristan yet?
I have not seen anything at this moment. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it right now. It literally just happened a couple minutes ago.
Right.
Right now, we're just monitoring it. We all know that Chris Broussard the other day was talking, hey, Tristan Thompson, his agent's going to have him sign a 3-year, $53 million contract. And then he immediately started backpedaling, saying, I meant he would be willing to agree to this kind of contract. And the Cavs haven't set any groundwork. And it was just a huge mess. What was that, Thursday? And since then, people have been going off. I believe ABJ, Cleveland.com, everybody started bashing Broussard, saying he jumped the gun. There was no deal.
I think what happened is, and I'll go back on that, and I'll tell you what I think happened with that situation. You've got, in most of these stories now with the NBA or wherever you're going, you've got the one guy that's talking to his agents. You've got the other guy that's talking to the team. And I think that when it came to Broussard last week, he was talking to Rich Paul. He was talking to LeBron's agent, or Tristan, LeBron's side of the story. And as those guys were talking, he felt like they were willing to come out and kind of cut it in half. Yeah. Let's get rid of some years. It's still the same kind of money that we want, but now it's down to years. Well, the Cavs are like, no, if we're going to sign him to that much kind of money, we want to be able to hold his rights for all these years. So now automatically you've got the story where Chris jumped out there and gave what he thought was going on. The Cavs just jump right back in underneath it all. It's not like there are no press releases on this. The team's not going to officially say anything. So now we've got two guys arguing out in the media, and I just think it's interesting. Just your thoughts.
Well, anybody that doesn't think Tristan Thompson's going to sign with the Cavaliers, you're crazy, because the qualifying offer has to be signed by Thursday. He has the offer in place, the $53 million offer. Just because they didn't come to an agreement over the weekend doesn't mean they didn't sign. They could be close, but when you're dealing with contracts, there's a lot of things that are involved. That could still be going on. They said, hey, let's not rush this thing. If they're close, we got media day on Monday. Let's just roll out our new guys. People are going to ask about Tristan Thompson. We know we've got a couple of days. It's no big deal if the Cavs come out on Wednesday and go, look, boom, we signed him. He's back. We got all our guys back.
Pierre, I don't care if it's the NFL or the NBA. Give me the player perspective on this when you're talking contracts and you're also talking about a Tristan Thompson guy who I love. I think he's given this franchise everything he can, especially in some years where they haven't been very good. But the fact of the matter is, most lists have him as like the 60th or 70th best player in the NBA. He shoots less than 30% outside of 3 feet, and inherently he is Kevin Love's backup.
He's Kevin Love's backup, but you know what? He gets rebounds. And without him getting the rebounds that we needed in offense and defense, I don't know where the Cavaliers would have been. Kevin Love got hurt. He stepped up. Andy was out. So we needed that one guy. And, I mean, he's going to get the rebounds for us that nobody else is going to get. I don't think Varejao is going to be the same player he was once before. Kevin Love, he's going to worry about that shoulder. I don't think he's building up enough muscle around him as well. So with TT, we got somebody we know that can get the rebounds, play the ball games we need to play, run up and down the court. He's young, athletic. But at the same time, when you hold out, you're not around the team, you hold out, then injuries happen. So that's a big scare for me. Like, go sign a contract, get with your team, work out with them, and don't have these little problems with the team.
Well, there's a couple other issues. Let's go to. I'm going to read this tweet, and it's just the career coach says, and my Twitter line's starting to fill up with stuff on this Tristan Thompson stuff. Tristan is becoming a me guy, in my opinion. It's not a good look. Kenny Rhoda, your thoughts on this Tristan Thompson situation? I know it's Dogs on the Run, and 99.9% of the time we talk Browns, but this is a big story today with Tristan Thompson, who's not going to media day.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Twitter account today, too, and I was wondering whether or not he was going to be there because it's the #1 story. I was ranking my stories as we were getting ready for media day today, and if he had not signed his contract by today, it doesn't look like he will. It's still the #1 story. And to me, I think the Cavaliers were more than fair in their 5-year, $80 million offer, $16 million for a guy coming off the bench who's very one-dimensional. He rebounds. He's an okay defender. Everybody was giving him, kudos last year for the job he did in the NBA Finals. The last time I checked, they lost 4 games to 2. He didn't help much offensively in the NBA Finals. And it does sound like, he wants the money and is becoming more of a me guy, where up to this point he's always been a team player. I think he and Rich Paul from Clutch Sports have to realize that nobody else was beating down their door this year to sign them, and that's why I think they came down to that 3-year, $53 million supposed contract offer that they made to David Griffin, saying, we'll accept this, The Cavaliers to this point have not accepted that, and they do have until Thursday to try and figure something out.
All right, let me give you a positive spin on this. And I think the thought here, though, is, okay, so you don't come to media day, you don't take pictures, you don't, okay, so what? Who cares? And
Right.
They'll take your picture somewhere else for the media guide. It really doesn't matter, and you're not available for interviews at this point. But the fact that he's not coming in, and they don't want to settle on the fact that it's this $6.9 million qualifying offer, it might be a good thing, because only one guy has ever come back after signing the qualifying offer to his original team. So let's stretch this out for a couple more days. I can see a positive in this by saying I don't want him signing that qualifying offer, because if that's it, the distraction for the entire year is just going to suck. Let's be honest, because he's only going to play 20 to 25 minutes a game anyways. And that's just the reality unless somebody else gets hurt. So now every narrative across the country is going to be David Blatt's not playing Tristan Thompson because of the contract, or they're not letting him do this because of the contract, or God forbid LeBron goes into a slump. Well, LeBron, I think, is concerned with what's going on with Tristan Thompson's contract. Mike.
No, I think you're right. There's no reason why you've got to rush this guy in just to be at media day. It's not a big deal. If the Cavs came out on Wednesday and said, look, we've come to agreement, we got him, I don't think it's a big deal. Yes, would I love to see Tristan Thompson there today? Of course I'd love to see him. And that question is going to be asked to David Griffin. He's going to talk. I'm sure it's going to be asked a couple of times. He's not going to be able to comment. He's going to, give us the coach speak, the organization speak, which the Cavaliers, we all know, is not much to comment on anything. But I don't think it's a big deal if you hold this thing off and get it done.
Let me guys ask you a couple questions first.
Okay.
First and foremost, are the Cavs a better team with Tristan Thompson?
Yes. Yes. Here's the other thing, too. I mean, the way you're locked into this contract structure with all these high-end salaries, I don't know that you have enough wiggle room to let him go and try to bring in somebody. You got to find somebody who's at the end of their career that's going to take a veteran's minimum.
And where's he
you're
gonna
not
go?
going to be the same as Tristan.
You're making the point I was about to make.
Okay.
I think no matter what, you need a guy. Tristan Thompson's the best guy you're going to see in free agency. You're already over the luxury tax. You might as well just give him the money. The Cavs have, 4 or 5 years left of LeBron's great years. You might as well just pay the man the money. You need that insurance policy. Kevin Love hasn't been healthy for a couple years now. So, I mean, I just feel like you need that insurance policy.
Well, I think you're going to be in another position next year, too. I mean, you got to pay Mozgov next year, too. And
to me, Timothy Mozgov is more important to this team than Tristan Thompson. The true center, to me, is more important, and that's something they're probably considering how they want to divvy up this money. And don't forget, they have the $10.5 million trade exception to maybe go out and get one of those younger guys who can rebound and is one-dimensional like Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the whole thing was you wanted to bring the whole team back from this championship run that we just had, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to build a nucleus team all together, and if we can do that and if Tristan come back, that'd be great. If not, then move on.
Guys, the way I look at this, Tristan needs the Cavaliers and the Cavaliers need Tristan. They need to figure this thing out, and they have until Thursday to try and do something.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Give him Wednesday.
Let me just throw this option out at all you guys, too. If you're the Cavs and you think this isn't going to work out and you think you've been more than fair with a good offer, and you can find somebody that equals out on the money, are you doing a sign-in trade? Is that possible? I don't know the math on it. I'm just saying, is that something you might be looking at?
I wouldn't do it. I really want Tristan Thompson. Let's see, if I'm the Cavaliers, I think he really wants to be on this team, and I understand where you're going. Sometimes money's money and you can't work it out. But in the grand scheme of things, what's the best team for Tristan Thompson? It's the Cavaliers. No matter what they decide on the money, the Cavs know it, and he knows it. I just think somehow it's going to get done.
If he goes anywhere, his production is going to go down. Rebounding, I mean, he never going to score that many points, so, I mean, just his rebound will definitely go down. I mean, I think LeBron makes him better. He compliments LeBron. LeBron compliments him, and Kyrie as well. So.
Well, look at it this way, Andy. Does Tristan Thompson automatically make another team better when he goes to them?
No.
I agree.
No.
I
guess the last factor then that's going to play into this thing, as long as they can try to get this thing done, is the LeBron factor. And how bad does LeBron want him here? How bad does LeBron want the contract here? Because if I'm LeBron James and I walk up to Dan Gilbert and I say, Dan, your franchise is now worth, I think, $500 million more since LeBron came back. Something like that.
Yeah,
I think I read that a couple of weeks ago.
It went up. Yep.
Okay, if you're LeBron and I'm printing money for you, Dan, and I want this guy signed, and I see what's going on, If you're Dan, do you say, all right, I got to bite the bullet on this
You
thing?
got to see what we're talking about. We're talking about money here.
Right.
The Cavaliers are spending money.
Right.
The Browns won't spend no money. Well, they did 9 million reasons on the sideline. And the Indians, I mean, if they all spend money, oh my God, look what we can have.
We'd be the Yankees. Everybody's the Yankees.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
the Yankees.
Can't you look at it the other way
George
too?
from?
If you're
George from Ohio,
LeBron,
isn't he? George Steinbrenner?
Wait, say
Yeah.
that again?
Yeah.
can't you look at it the other
I
way?
mean,
If you're
come on.
LeBron, can't you be going to Tristan Thompson saying, "Hey, what the heck? I mean, this is the best team you're going to be on."
That guy wants his
Why don't
money.
you
I don't
freaking
blame him. I don't blame him. Get paid, get your money. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna sit on the bench, whatever, come off the bench. Get paid. I don't blame him at all. Because I mean, they're gonna use you.
They offered him $16 million per for 5 years. That's $80 million, and he's going to be 28, 29, where he has a chance to sign another contract at the end of that opportunity. And if he improves himself and shows that he's worth more money, then he can go out and get another contract at the end of this one.
All right, this is going to be the big story of the day, maybe even trumping a therapy
he can
Monday.
be on that show
for the
MSNBC,
Browns.
American Greed, because right now that's what he's being greedy.
If you're worth
do you want
it,
to
show
fly
it.
through, grade the team, or you just want to pass? We got 2 minutes. What do you want to do, Eric?
We'll do it real quick.
Real quick, we'll grade the team as fast as possible. Ready? Here we go. Quarterback, this is the Browns. Grade the team from yesterday, brought to you by Eric Risto, who says, let's squeeze this thing in the last 2 minutes. Fly him up on the screen. Give me one-word answers on why you gave what you did. First of all, we start with the defense. I gave them a D. They did give them an opportunity to have the ball at the end of the game to get a touchdown, but otherwise in the beginning of the game, they were purely an F. Pierre?
Man, 20-3 halftime. That's terrible.
Mike?
Would have been an F minus, went up to an F because I got the ball back.
Kenny?
27 points, 314 yards, 155 yards rushing, and 0 sacks.
All right, that's good enough. The only reason I gave him a D again was because I thought, they had a chance to tie this thing, and I don't know how bummed out we would have been if they would have turned around and won this game. Next subject, go, Risto. Coach, what do you got? Give me the letter grades. We'll start with you. Kenny, go. Coach.
Mike Pettin obviously deserves some of the blame in this, and that's why I gave him an F+, because I think he came out afterwards and took a little bit of ownership of it, but also called the players out, too, about talking. Enough talk, you got to put those actions into words, and he has to follow suit as well.
Mike.
F. It's F. You didn't win the football game. You don't win the game. You made bad decisions down the stretch. It's an F.
Pierre.
I just gave him a D. I mean, he's a defensive coach, and the defense ain't play well.
I got to tell you, I can't stand watching this team walk out on the field and not be ready for 2 out of 3 games. That's inexcusable. Again, you get the D because you had the ball and a chance to tie the game at the end. Next subject, Eric the referee.
Josh McCown, the quarterbacks. He had 341 yards passing, but a crucial pick in the end.
Quarterbacks, let's go, Mike, B minus.
9 different receivers. Had he been able to complete that last drive, that B minus would have been a better grade. But the fact that he did not, still, I thought Josh McCown had a couple opportunities to win that football game yesterday.
He got a C minus for me because he had 341 yards of passing, still threw for 2 touchdowns, and found 9 different guys. But he sucked in the first half. Pierre, go.
Well, he got a B minus for me because of his yards, and then at the end, he threw the pick to the ancient time guy, Charles Woodson.
Kenny.
I gave him a C minus. Nobody should underthrow Travis Benjamin. If anything, you try and overthrow Travis Benjamin. You throw it out there and let him run and go get the ball. You can't underthrow Travis Benjamin. Come on now, throw it out there. And the pick, Charles Woodson baited him and sucked him in and got the pick, and they lose the game.
Next subject, go.
That amazing running backs.
Running backs. Is anybody even contemplating a D in this?